Welcome to True Crime Chronicles, where we explore the darkest corners of our history. This is your host, Leah Fernandez, and today we delve into a haunting case from 1978 called the Speedway Murders at the Burger Chef in Indiana, a mystery that remains unsolved and continues to haunt the community. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. It was November 17, 1978, and the Burger Chef in Speedway, Indiana, was closing for the night. 4 young employees, 18-year-old Jane Freytag, 17-year-old Ruthie Mae Hall, 16-year-old Danny Davis, and 17-year-old Marty Allen, were working the late shift, just trying to make some extra cash. But as the clock ticked toward midnight, something sinister was brewing. The restaurant was closing, but outside, a figure watched, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. When the doors locked, the employees thought they were safe. How wrong were they? The next day, when a manager arrived to open the restaurant, he found a scene that would send shockwaves through the community. The doors were locked, the lights were off, and inside, the employees were nowhere to be found. A frantic search led police to discover the horrific truth. The 4 teens had been abducted. Days turned into a nightmare for their families. But the horror escalated when just 2 days later, the bodies of the 4 young employees were discovered in a remote, wooded area, just a few miles from the Burger Chef. They had been brutally murdered, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Detective John Smith took on the case, piecing together the clues. Eyewitness reports described a suspicious man lurking near the Burger Chef that night. Some claimed he drove a distinctive vehicle, a dark sedan that stood out against the backdrop of the dinner's neon lights. Investigators pursued several leads, but every avenue turned into a dead end. The investigation revealed a darker side of Speedway, tensions between rival gangs and a potential connection to other unsolved cases in the area. The community was on edge, fearing the presence of a killer among them. As the investigation continued, rumors circulated about possible suspects, ex-employees, former customers, and even local criminals. But despite the extensive interviews and investigations, no one was ever charged with the murders. The case grew cold, but the pain remained fresh for the families. Over the years, new tips and theories emerged, but none led to justice. The Burger Chef was eventually torn down, replaced by new establishments, but the ghost of the fateful night lingered. To this day, the Speedway murders remain one of Indiana's most chilling unsolved crimes. As we close today's episode, we remember Jane, Ruthie, Danny, and Marty, young lives taken too soon, and families forever changed. If you have any information about the Speedway murders, contact your local authorities. You can help bring closure to a case that has haunted this community for decades. Join us next week as we uncover another chilling tale from the world of true crime. Until then, stay safe and keep your eyes open.